I was just chilling by the ute, and a full grown adult emu walked straight up to me. So I was like, oh, he seems like pretty friendly. It'd be a good chance to get some footage. So I got my camera out of the car and I come around. He's still pretty close. And then I realized there's actually 4 of them, like a little tribe of emus. And I was like, far out, that's really cool. I did get like some footage. I don't know how it turned out. It's on my little gimbal thing, so it's a tiny little screen, so you can't really tell until you put it on the laptop and blow it up. But yeah, it's cool to see. Like I've also got footage from when I was driving in of a like mother emu and like 5 chicks, like 5 little baby emus as well, just that I saw on the highway. So this is definitely emu country. Like that's like the main wildlife, like really cool thing that lives here. And when I was swimming before, there was a little baby emu that come up to the water for a drink. So it's really beautiful and exciting. But when the emus came, like, and I was following them with the cameras, they walked off down this path here. And I was like, it was just really cool. Like, they just were sort of like knew where they were going. And it looks like a full on path, like a track. And there's a few of these tracks through here. And I wonder if like the emus made them, like that's their path, their route that they take through the country, and then they know where all the good food is and like good water and everything. But I kept thinking all day that like it'd be interesting to follow them, like even though they're gone, it'd be interesting to go for a walk down there and see what's down there. I still haven't done it. But when I saw the little baby emu come for a drink, I thought of it again. It reminded me. I was like, that was so cool. Like, it'd be pretty cool to just like walk with the emus like off into the bush and see where they go and see where it takes you. But at the same time, I was like, that sounds like the recipe for like absolutely losing it. Like it was like in the middle of the day, beaming sun, like already like having signs of like heat stroke, heat exhaustion, like hearing stuff, seeing stuff, all that. So I was like, yeah, don't wander off into the bush, Kai. Be responsible to some degree. At least go put some thongs on. But yeah, I was like, it intrigued me. And then when I saw the baby emu, I remembered it. And then I was just going for it. I was doing that thing that I do where I was like, if there's a big, good, solid chunk of firewood here, this will be my campsite. And if not, I'll move on. Like I was making the decision whether I'm going to stay here. And sure enough, 100 meters away, a bunch of stumps like cut up into perfect little pieces somebody had left behind. And I was like, cool, scavenger hunt. Took them back to the fire. And then I went for another walk around, and there's not a lot of other firewood. There's not like a lot of sticks falling from the trees and that. It's pretty, like there is, I found some, but there wasn't heaps. And then I just had the funny thought, like maybe the emus knew where the firewood was, like just kind of joking to myself. And I was like, I'll go have a look up the emu trail. And then like I went over there, and like right at the start of the trail there under that tree, there was like just a whole like night's worth of firewood stacked neatly in a pile. And I was thinking to myself, like, I would have seen that. I would have noticed that and like checked that for later. Like I would have been like, okay, remember that that's there so that when you want to fire later, you know where to look. But I swear it wasn't there. It was a really weird thing. I'm just tripping out. Like when you like think, oh, I need this, and then it like actually manifests out of like nothing almost. It kind of seems. I'm sure it was just there. I'm sure there's a rational, logical explanation. But the emus themselves, like, they're just so cool and so majestic, and this is just they're massive, huge, huge beings, and yeah, they they struck me with awe, and like that's why, I don't know, they bring up this like feeling that they must be mystical and they must be like showing me something or like providing me with firewood. uh, yeah, I'm probably like look like a tomato right now. I have not tried to stay out of the sun today. I've just been having the best time. No crocodiles. Haven't been eaten by a crocodile, obviously. Have seen a lot more of those little heads pop up out of the water, but I'm like either they're turtles or they're like little freshwater crocodiles or something. But I'm pretty sure they would just be turtles. I can see a pelican down there now. So there's like all kinds of things here. But the emus, man, far out. The baby emus was the first one that got me. Like I wouldn't usually stop in the middle of a 110 zone on the highway when there's like nowhere to pull over. It's because it's like just 2 lanes and there's no sides. Like it's just like ditches. But I just stopped on the highway because there's no traffic and all that anyway. And I just like tried to film them, but they were like, once I stopped, they kind of wanted to get away from me, get away from the vehicle, because it was still like I left it running so I could like move forwards and backwards. So it was like making a bit of noise and it's kind of scared them. I still got a little moment of like that. And I wasn't planning on doing any more, like any more of like that get lost and find yourself footage, like any more travel documentary stuff. But then I started thinking it would be good for just cutaways, like for the next video, if I do another video where I'm talking a little bit more about the experiences and like, or put anything together. Like I don't have to do like a get lost and find yourself too. I could do anything with the footage that I get spontaneously on this trip. And I think if something is like epic enough to stop me in my tracks and make me pull my camera out, that's footage that you want to capture, right? Like even if you never use it, even if you just like have that moment and capture that moment and you're like, wow, have that experience. Oh, it does look like there is a storm, but it's still early. So I reckon it'll either hit me early in the like while the sun's still up and everything will dry out just fine, or it'll blow over because it's been like building up and coming across this way, and it's nearly on top of me now. So it will either drop it all of its load on my head, and I'll be actually really refreshed and really grateful for that, or yeah, it'll continue to build up as it moves away from me, which I don't care either way. Yeah. Like this is I've put it in different piles. So this is like the nice chunks when I was like, if I'm gonna stay here tonight, I've got to find like some good chunks of firewood. And then this is what I was collecting. Like, oh yeah, find a few sticks around the place. Took me ages to get them. And then this is what the emu track had. Just so much firewood. And then I got some of this like kindling stuff. That's the fireplace. Yeah, and I'm probably gonna cook tonight. Just like some tin stuff. But yeah, I'm craving like a decent like meal that feels like more than what fruit can do for my body. So I got like some canned like chunky vegetable soup type stuff. I got baked beans still as well. I've got unlimited baked beans. I never don't have baked beans when I'm doing something like this. It's like the most versatile, reliable food. It will last for ages in pretty much any climate, including when it's like 40 plus degrees heat. Like you'll be right, you can eat them. They'll always be okay. And they're high protein, high energy. They don't taste bad. They're like you could live on them for a while. So yeah, bit of cooking. And the way that I'll do it is just so basic. I'll just like chuck the tin in the fire with like I'll crack the seal so it doesn't explode, and just let it heat up. And then I get like the fork that I'm going to eat it with, and I put it through the little hole on the tin, and I peel it back with the fork so I'm not touching the hot thing. Or like first I put it through the hole and like take it out of the fire to somewhere where I can eat it from, so I'm not like eating next to the fire. And that's worked out really well for me so far, doing it that way. Pretty simple, eh? You don't need a lot of shit. You don't need anything. And if you were really hungry, like, catch some fish. Like, there was a guy that was putting in like crab pots or yabby pots or something. He came and checked them earlier. Very soon after my little nudist video journal, whether I posted that or not, I'm not sure, but I went for a big walk naked to get a bit of a tan on my bum, and that was super fun. One of the highlights of my day. And if you haven't realized yet, like, some days I'm recording a bunch of journals, like some days I won't record any, some days I'll record one. You never know what's going to happen. I'm just documenting what I'm thinking and feeling as it's emerging. Like, if I'm like, oh, I feel like, yeah, if something comes up, I'm like, oh, I reckon this is a journal, then I'll just pull the phone out and start talking, see what emerges. And some of them are going to be unpostable. Some of them I will post and people will just be like, why did you post that? But yeah, it'd actually be really helpful. If you are somebody who watches these journals like consistently, let me know in the comments below what it is about the journals that you actually like. Like, I know I said it in a couple of journals ago, like, that I'm not relying on feedback to like govern what I do in these journals, but it would be helpful to know like what people are actually tuning in for. Like, do you like the adventures, or do you like the internal world of my mind? Or I don't know, it could be something totally different that I don't even realize I'm doing. One person told me that they like the way that I speak in metaphor all the time, and I don't. Yeah, so that's fun. Click the like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna go just in case I have to deal with a bit of wet weather. See you shortly.